gets our stream up and active again.
Excellent. Good morning. Good afternoon, I think we're now. That was a good start. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's been a long morning.
Long week.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad. Currently hovering around in orbit, ready for yourself to join me.
Excellent. I will join you now.
That our last mission. We've got back to Nessus to talk to Failsafe. We forgot to finish last time we were on.
Indeed. Okay. There we go.
Too much time spent in Iron Banner. That's what it's been.
Yeah, it was. It was an interesting Iron Banner. First Iron Banner, obviously, of Destiny 2. So I don't want to judge it too harshly. I think a lot of people have been a bit too harsh, to be fair. But yeah, I thought that I can understand completely the criticism, but certain criticisms, but the level not being enabled, or the light level not being enabled, the power level not being enabled, seemed to annoy people. But I can't quite get my head, to be fair. I think a lot of people are still leveling,
Yeah, I think from a lore perspective, it was done wrong. Mainly because
interesting. I haven't heard that perspective.
Lord Saladin, originally in Destiny 1, when we were introduced to Iron Banner, he introduced it as a tournament because the Crucible was too soft. It didn't give Guardians the proper training for the real world. Therefore, they needed something more brutal, something more realistic, and therefore Iron Banner was born. And it was a way to challenge yourself beyond your light, I think was the line he used, which you can't do if your power is disabled.
I did not know this. Literally being a year 3 scrub as I am, I had absolutely no clue. But now that makes perfect sense. But yeah, I thought well, it was a move. It was a politic move, as they say, to make sure that more people got involved in it, and people who weren't at max light level, max power level, got involved in it. And I can kind of understand that. What I did take issue with, though, was the token system. I thought that was not good. I think one of the joys about what was special about Iron Banner was that you had an idea of what you were grinding for. You had an idea what you were shooting for. You could go and look at the guns. You could go and look at the armor and say, I want that gun. I want that piece of armor. I need to go and do these activities.
I think that's missing from the vendors, unfortunately, is the ability to purchase items once you're a set rank. That's missing from every single one of them, and that's a big problem, because you don't feel like you're gaining, you don't feel like you're actually grinding towards anything. All you're actually doing is grinding RNG.
Well, and I can accept that. I can accept that in certain circumstances. In D1, you didn't know what you were going to get from Shaxx particularly, or whoever you were, or the Vanguard. You got lucky, you got unlucky, but you always knew that there was an event coming up once a month in Iron Banner where you knew that you could. I can accept a certain amount of RNG in the game, which is fine. I think certain people get super lucky. I remember, one player that we play with regularly, a good PvP player who got the same gun, I think, 6 weeks in a row, which I think kind of annoyed him. But that is super unlucky. But even that I can accept, provided that there's this one event every few weeks that where that's not the issue. You
So
know,
you Guardians are all about symbols.
that's
right?
what's special. You know, that's what's special about
Exactly.
it.
Dead orbit.
I
Iron
thought we'd
Banner.
just,
I don't know how you keep
in
track.
case anyone's wondering what the hell's
Point
happening in the
is,
video,
you want to
grab our
inspire.
clan banner.
You're in a clan. You know what I'm
Yep, absolutely. It's something I forgot to do as well.
You know, it makes sense to be able to
Talk to me.
sport our clan banner and be part of our clan while we're doing this.
Yep,
And just,
absolutely
you
right.
know, shameless plug. There's our beautiful banner on the stream right now. Blood Corvus. Great clan to be part of.
Oh, yep.
Nice and
Absolutely.
relaxed.
Yep.
Right, shameless plug is done. We now need
Shameless
to-
plug over. We move on.
Yeah, so we don't need to level up much actually. We need to be level 11 before we can go to IO, and we're scratching a half away from that.
Cool, cool.
We all want the same
Yeah, there's a public event starting on Titan. Let's teleport there.
frame.
Sounds good to me.
Makes good sense. I do have some good news for you then, Nick.
Oh, cool.
It was in a video I was watching on YouTube. I will have to get the user's name. It will probably be More Console. I watch his videos regularly.
Yeah, it's very good.
There is actually a system being put in place. In all the previous updates we've been doing, they've been working on it in the background, where they're actually updating the token system and
Oh,
the
really?
vendor rank system. So it looks like it's going to be coming into the game at some point, probably during the first DLC. Maybe before, I'm not sure.
Right.
We're going to get to know what their rank actually is. So at least part of that's getting sorted, which is a good thing.
That's good news. That is good news.
Especially for when Iron Banner comes round again, to be able to
Yeah, that.
to know where we are and where we stand.
Yeah, it's, you know, it is annoying that we actually have to go to a third-party site to find that out, which is
Yeah, very true. That's what a lot of people were complaining about, is the lack of access to your stats within the game itself. Box here, Nick.
Oh, thanks, mate. Yep.
Probably pop on a medallion.
Oh, yeah, good idea. I shall do the same.
I'll take this circle if you take the other side.
Will do.
It's obviously
Now, just remind me here, when
Yeah.
when do they go crystals go? Stop being immune. When can you
What hap-
damage them?
what happens is when the witches appear, obviously we break their summoning by turning this circle or claiming these two summoning circles. Their shields will then drop. We kill them. Once they're dead, the summoning circle will reset. We have to claim it for a second time, and that brings down the crystal shields above. We can shoot a crystal
Okay.
the doorway, which destabilizes the gate, and instead of a powerful wizard, we get an uber powerful knight.
I'm
Brilliant.
reading signs of hive ritual activity, Guardian. Up for it?
Well, it's not. As I say, it's not always obvious. And I do see
Oh, it's not.
people.
The hive
I do see a lot of people who are clearly trying to shoot up at it and not succeeding. So, you know.
So now my crystal's vulnerable and smashed. Yours is vulnerable and smashed. There we go.
Smashed.
Now we can get off the circles. Because that's actually the hardest part, not reminding yourself, I can't move. I'm not allowed to move.
Oh no, I can move now. In fact, I bloody well should do.
Yes. Well, you know what I
Otherwise-
do like? Not a lot of people have realised this, that a lot of the heroic events are actually setting us up for either nightfall strikes, you know, for balancing your time. Think of this. This is
That's-
Leviathan Raid Bats.
Very good point. Very, very good point.
So it's quite ingenious that, you know, they prep you through the game, which I love. Whoa, that's a lot. I leveled up at the right time there. I can tell you that.
Another day, another night.
Another demoralizing defeat for the Hive. I've lost count of your victories, but I know there will be many more.
And so it can't help but make me think that, you know, some of the other mechanics that we use in some of the other strikes will come up in later raids and later events.
Yeah,
That could be
I
quite
think
cool.
I think that will be cool. You're absolutely right. But that is a great thing about this though. The D2 is literally the amount of cooperation, you know. And it's so nice to see the community when it does come together, and it has adapted really quickly. I think.
Yeah.
You know, it's really nice to see.
Well, you know, the thing, I mean, even the using the cannons, that's something that we're used to from Destiny 1. Shout out to Neil with Axis there, I suppose.
Definitely. Yeah.
I'm glad to see that they brought that into it, and yeah, I do think that the other aspects will fall into the rest of the game also. But believe it or not, that's us ready for IO.
Oh, that's good. That's
that
really
leveling
nice.
up session was very short.
Yeah.
In fact. Did you talk to Failsafe on Nessus?
I don't think I did. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Sorry.
We'll stop off at Nessus.
I was too busy
Um,
ranting about Iron Banner.
Iron Banner. Yeah, perfectly
Yep.
fine. Everyone's entitled to their... Well, the gear looked quite nice. I do...
I thought
I like
yeah, the gear was
the
lovely.
samurai idea. I do think,
Yeah.
though, that there should have been... Now, there may have been, I may have missed it, but I highly doubt it. I think there should have been a sword. You know, a heavy
Agreed.
weapon sword to
Yep.
go with it. Because to have the gear that closely resembling samurai type armor and not take that opportunity samurai-esque sword is just it's a missed
Surely
opportunity.
that's a yeah exactly. Yeah, I don't get that at all. It doesn't make any sense. But you're right. And I mean, even if they just, you know, even if you just had a, you know, I mean, you've got Quick Fang. You know, you could have Iron Bannered Quick Fang and
Exactly.
or I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's too simple. But it seemed
the framework base work was there. All they had to do was essentially activate it. So yeah, it does seem like a missed opportunity. Someone with me?
But no, other than that, I thought it was good. I thought the standard was good. You know, the matchmaking works, I think.
Obviously, there's quite
yeah.
a few angry players within the Iron Banner because of the way it was running the tower. There was quite a few who played a lot more aggressive than they normally would. So once you got past those few, it was quite enjoyable. Especially if you run a team of 4. I do find that PvP in Destiny 2 is very much all in or not.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely it, and I think we're definitely we're definitely in that fabulous. Here, there we go, mate. I've spoken. You can take us to wherever we need to be now. But yeah, I think trying queuing. The thing is, as I say, the problem that we've got being alone. I found when I was queuing with better players, but then again, I was queuing at the time with a couple of guys who regularly, go to the lighthouse, who regularly go flawless, which I think was pushing the boundaries of what the matchmaking system can do. Possibly, I don't know enough about it.
Yeah,
but,
I do think that plays a big part.
Yeah, but that because I was finding I was getting absolutely shredded and put against players that were much better than me to the point where it just wasn't fun. I wasn't learning anything. Bottom line, I was dead too fast. Doing alone is much better from the point I found really good. It was really enjoyable. I had a nice sort of, I wasn't killing everyone and no one was, I wasn't getting murdered either. It was, when I look at my stats, it was very much a case of, honours pretty much even. I was slightly positive over 25 games, which is great. I think that's a testament to it's working. But my other issue there, of course, is there's no when you're playing alone. The downside is that you haven't got very much control as to how if you can win the game. It's difficult to play objective because, of course, you're playing alone.
Yeah, try and follow someone and see if they're going to play well or not.
Well, you have to, don't you? That's really the point. You have to follow people in PvP now because team shooting is what it's about.
I stand here still with nothing.
Ikora, Zavala is forming a resistance, and he believes.
What good is a resistance when you are
I do need
the
to ask because
one
we're
who
getting
would
closer
survive?
to
I believe
potential reveals and stuff. There is a live stream upcoming. Unfortunately, I don't have the date. I was looking for it before we started. But there's a live stream coming up on details about seasons, because our clan and many other clans have reached the maximum of what they can get in season 1. And that sort of begs the question of how long is a season, how often we're going to get them, etc. And what's the rewards for them. My theory is that at the end of this season, because we've reached the max, we'll all get some sort of engram reward of some kind, but the clan itself will get a choice of some new flagpoles for our banner. Because that's an option in your actual inventory, is to change its they don't call it a flagpole, they call it a stave.
A standard? A stave?
No, a stave,
okay.
yeah. So you can, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 14 spaces for staves. Right now we've got the standard stave, and you've got a speeder, and I still forgot to get sent over.
Don't worry.
Ignore that.
I will enjoy the walk. It's fine.
We need to know what
Yes, we shall walk and talk as we would do in real life.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think we'll get awarded a standard, and then when season 2 starts, whenever it's going to be, we'll get we'll have to start from scratch. Our clan will continue from 6 or whatever level it's at.
I am more than just my light.
But the season will scratch the bonuses. So we'll have a new number of bonuses to gain by leveling from 6 to 12 or whatever it's going to be. I'm fairly certain that's what they're going to do. We'll need to wait and see with that respect.
Why would he destroy
They'll take a lot of ideas from Blizzard, I'm pretty sure.
There must be answers there.
Yes.
Because
But
if
they,
anyone,
if they, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They know how to do it. You know?
Yeah, yeah. That's the. If anyone knows how to sort a game for longevity, it's Blizzard. You know, their games generally go for a very long time, and or are continuing to go.
Looks like
Yeah.
the Legion's packing
So it
up
makes
by
perfect
tomorrow.
sense.
Find out what they're shipping. We need every scrap of intel.
But hopefully, within this live stream, they also reveal a bit more about Rise. Not Rise. Well, it's because we're talking about Iron Banner. I'm thinking Rise of Iron. Hopefully, they will reveal more about the Osiris DLC, which will give us a better insight into it and what to expect. I don't want to know too much. Don't get me wrong, but I do want to know something.
Yeah.
In all honesty,
I think that's
anything.
absolutely fair.
'Cause it will just band things together very nicely.
Everyone's gone.
And then they can also,
It's not like the Cabal to invest so much in a base. And
you know,
just
I think a
abandon
good teaser for the live stream
We're
would
coming
be,
up on a big drill.
a
and it'll
drill.
get everybody
Are they
instantly
mining
thinking,
Traveler's energy?
hell yeah, I can't wait for
It's
this,
not like
would
it
be
can't
if they
give the Traveler's
teased
blessing, not to me,
either a
not to
new
Gaul.
strike from it
Or could it?
or a new
Yeah.
a new raid,
What's wrong?
which would be, you know, that would get the end gamers thinking, yeah, they're actually listening, and we have got to just give them time. Because that's one
Absolutely.
thing, no offense to anyone out there, they really don't want to give them time. They're expecting, they want a Destiny 1
Yeah. They want a
of
Destiny 1,
content.
Destiny 2.
Yeah, at the Destiny 2 level of capability. It's
Yeah.
not possible.
No, it isn't. It isn't possible, and I think,
They have no leader.
and
Oryx is
I
dead.
think it
Most
is
of us know
time.
that, though.
Times what? Yeah, most of us do, and I think
They are no
that's
longer
very
Fallen
much.
or Hive or Cabal. Oryx
I think that's
changed
that
the
we are
dark
very much.
powers
I think
restored.
I feel the silent majority. To be fair, people who, you know, if we haven't got something to complain massively about, well, you know,
That has to be.
we don't. No, actually, I think they've got everything pretty much bang on.
I mean, I come back to D2, as you know yourself. You know, I'm not here on D2 every single day, and neither is everyone from our clan. You know,
No.
we will set days for raids and for milestones. We'll log on, have fun, let each other know we're on, etc. But one thing we don't do is we don't spend all of our time on Destiny, because there's other games out there to help prolong the life of your Destiny play.
Agreed. Yeah,
There's-
exactly. You can have too much of a good thing. It's an old-fashioned thing to say, but it really is. You know, if you
We've said
hammer
it
something
before.
to
We
Yeah,
don't
we have.
want to burn out. The last thing
No.
we want is to burn out. Miss all the future content. Because what people will remember, and yourself included, Nick, is because you weren't here originally for Destiny
No,
1's
no,
launch,
indeed.
is very much the same as what happened in Destiny 1.
It
The
did it
exact
really?
s-
So
the
so
exact
this
same
is
thing. Everybody just
good
they
lord.
played themselves out of it, and many,
Really?
including myself, many people quit and left, and didn't come back until the Taken King. And that's when we came back because we thought, right, there's enough content. Whereas if we spaced it out, they would have enjoyed it a lot more. Like yourself, you had the chance. I'm sorry, I had to yawn there. The chance to play
Yeah, no.
Destiny 1 in its whole, in its complete form. But wouldn't let you. I told
No,
you that you had
I
to play it
absolutely not.
in sections. You had to enjoy it and do it as it
I'm
should
so
be.
glad you
and
did.
You did.
And the weird thing is, and it probably, again, it's probably because, you know, you have to give it time, and that's the way that Bungie want you to play it, and you are bound by that. There are players that I play with now that who are much like yourself, who've been here from day one, who don't know as much lore as perhaps I would expect them to know. I mean, simple things like, you know, we've said before. Remember, I was talking to some day one players the other day who had no idea what the origin of the Awoken were. They had no clue. I didn't understand. Just thought they were sort of these guys
Conjuring some kind of portal.
and I think because of the perhaps slightly disjointed nature of it, because they went through it too quickly, they missed a lot of this stuff, or maybe it wasn't in there in the first place. I don't know, but
Yeah.
for whatever reason, it surprises me that you know, people who've been here for a lot longer than I have, who don't know their own game,
No, it's
or
completely true.
aspects of their own game.
There's, I mean, obviously, you and I, we played a lot of Star Wars and quite a bit of World of Warcraft before we came here properly. So the lore side of things is something we actually really enjoy. And some
Well, it
people
makes more sense of the game. That's
Yeah.
the point for me.
some people don't generally like that. They like to come in for a bit of PvP, a bit of... I mean, I get that, I understand that, that's absolutely fine. But the ones that complain that there isn't enough content and don't actually explore, I'm sorry, but those are the people that really can wind me up. Because there is so much in the lore side of things. Just little snippets lying around that just really reveal more of the in-depth of the game, and it's great.
Yeah, and it gives you an idea of why you're doing stuff. I mean, that's the fun part for me. Why are we on this planet? You know, what are we fighting the Taken here for?
Take a closer look.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, once again, I'd like to point out to anyone here as I switch my guns, I have accidentally ended up on double hand cannons. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. If
You do love a hand
I could
cannon.
wield one in each hand, it would be a different story, you know. Dual wielding a hand
yes,
cannons
indeed.
would be great.
Absolutely. Gunzerking in Destiny.
Yes, that's something you're still dying to see, isn't it?
Oh, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that.
I just hide behind this rock and eat my grenade, as it should be.
Portal's closed. We're clear.
Yeah, the Void Walker,
I know this
I
place is in
really didn't give the bottom tree enough time
I have one life left
because
and I
it's
will
just
give it gladly to
fantastic.
stop Gaul. We leave now.
The Toon Hunger,
I
is
coordinate,
just
we must
Yeah.
talk.
eating grenades, punching for health.
I have a few choice
Yeah.
things to say to you.
Yeah, and I shout
Yeah,
out to
it's a
clan
di-
member
it's-
Jade for that.
Yep,
That's just
absolutely.
our obsession with eating grenades it's worked. It's convinced me.
It's legendary. I've got one of my favourite green weapons that's just dropped from your part of the world, which is the aptly named Inverness SR2 scout rifle. Lovely scout rifle, really do. I've had it all three times.
Does it have the
drop on all
accent
three
when it fires?
It doesn't. It sadly is not very Scottish when it fires, to be fair. But no, it's one of the really nicest. Although the auto rifle I'm using is the Jiangxi, the green version of the legendary, and it's indistinguishable, really, as far as I can see, from the legendary version.
No, there is a
But it's
lot,
just the same way.
a lot of similarities. You'll find
Really,
between
really
the
lovely to use.
green, blue, and purple versions. I do wish, like in some other games, there was a little more option of the weapons, like if in white, green, blue, legendary, and then exotic. That would be, an exotic version of them would be very interesting.
That would be nice.
There's a public event over here, I think, that will probably. I'm trying to summon my speeder that I don't have. That we'll probably do. And then we'll go to that mission for Mr. Grumpy there.
He is a grumpy man.
He's great later on, though. I do admit.
He is.
He mellows
He
out
is.
eventually.
Yeah, he's had a hard time of it, Vex took his arm,
Well,
It's...
to be fair, he did go poking around. So
That's true.
can't blame them too much.
The Vex are not known for their forgiving nature.
I was
Red
gonna say,
markers.
if we trust in these markers right now, we should not be participating in this.
But they're going down. They're going down. It's just that I don't think we're going to live too long if they start firing back. But we'll see. We'll see.
Very much a hit and
This
run.
Yeah.
Or we can call on Captain America apparently for some help, so we're fine. The Avengers have come to aid us. Us taking down the ship that comes in to turn us heroic, though. I don't quite think we've got the firepower.
No. And I'm stuck here with a shotgun as my most powerful weapon, which is not going to be a great deal of use.
Thanked up a rocket launcher a little while ago. Do have 3 rockets, which will help. Not greatly.
But
boy.
this, let me just get you. Can I get? Oh no,
That's
no,
okay.
no.
Don't worry, Captain America.
has you. Oh,
I'll get you. I got a shot off, but I don't think I did very much damage. Oh, I took... Whoa. Yeah, see, this is... Public events are generally supposed to be done in-game, really. In-game as you can. I wouldn't go in there just yet.
No, I can't get in there. No.
Dean McCann,
There we go.
you have to sit there.
Yep, I'm afraid so, mate. Although, I tell you one thing, just this is totally anecdotal. I don't see
I expected nothing less.
I don't see a lot of people playing Sentinel. I don't see a lot of Sentinel Titans in compared to Striker Titans.
No, that's completely true. Double grenades, everyone tends to go to strikers, and that's it's a good thing and a bad thing, but play the way you like. Don't let anyone else judge you. To be fair.
No way. No. I love my double grenades, and I don't care who knows it.
Yeah,
They are
I think it's
incredibly
hilarious.
useful.
Spare door and just watch them panic in PvP. Right, so I no longer am wielding double hand cannons. I thankfully picked up a scout rifle. The only problem
That's
is
good
I
news.
also picked up another scout rifle, so I am double scout rifling. My weapons are dropping in doubles. I've got no control over it right now. I'm getting an energy version and a kinetic version of anything that drops.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing as well, that just going back to D1 for a moment in terms of drops and what we get. The other thing was do you remember the sunrise bounty that we used to have for Nightfall?
Yes.
That's something that I think I miss on a weekly basis. Yes, we got the Rat King, got it. Yeah, absolutely. You know, interesting
Well,
weapon,
It's-
fun.
Yeah, it's one of those
but
weapons
that's it. That
you're a bit. Whereas the
yeah,
sunrise bounty
you're happy to get it, but
gave you that extra reward. For doing the Nightfall, you got a reward anyway. You know, you got of it, or your chance at loot from the box.
yeah,
Which is great. That's how it should be. But the sunrise bounty gave you that other option. I do think it should be in this, and I think it should be, if you do it with the 5 minutes remaining, like the sunrise bounty required, instead of just getting a powerful engram for doing the Nightfall, you get 2.
yeah. That
It's
would
as
be
simple
good.
as that. It doesn't need to be, you know, an exotic. It doesn't. Just a
No,
chance at
you don't have to. You
Up
don't
it
have
to
to
2.
have a chance that I don't want an icebreaker every week. If I don't want an icebreaker ever again, but that's one of the things that made PvP, I think, in D1 quite aggravating.
Yeah, I will agree.
Controversial. I know there are great lovers. Shout out to Mr. Riley. Loved. He misses his icebreaker, something ridiculous. But
much as
no,
Genesis
you're
Chain.
right.
I
Not
think
as
we're
much as
close,
Genesis
but
Chain,
so
to be
are the
fair, that
Taken.
is true. But
Vex too.
No heat, assistant. You and I can deal with them later.
But no, I do think it's something they have to bring back. Or, you know, D2's version of it, whatever you want to call it. You don't have to call it Sunbreaker, Sunrise Bounty or anything like that, you know, you can call it whatever the hell you want. Make it a,
but just
you know,
something.
they can turn it into their own idea by giving you a prestige challenge. You know, like, instead of it being prestige mode, because prestige mode can be quite difficult. And I do get what
Yes.
they've done. You know, you complete prestige modes, you get a powerful engram, 300 plus generally. But that's all fine and well. But what happens if you complete standard mode with 5 minutes remaining? Nothing. You complete prestige mode, which is, like we just said, a hell of a lot more difficult, and you get a little something.
Yeah, you get an aura, which is good, which is fine. You know, it's fine, but
Yeah, there's, you know, like we said, it is still very, very early in this game's life.
Yeah.
So a lot of slack can be cut.
oh god,
But
yeah.
there is a lot of room for improvement, which I love. You know, having that room for improvements. You know,
Yes.
the game's not going to go stale anytime soon because that room's there.
Got the power going, but the drill is still in our way.
Ha! What's a gloriously irritating
suss
commitment
out.
to safety
Just
standards.
can't wait for I feel more comfortable with.
There has to be a manual override somewhere.
Leveled up as well. That's
I find it incredible that those myopic Red Legion ignorami did not realize they were drilling
I do
directly into a war
think
mine
Asher
vault.
is extremely hilarious.
Stranger things
It,
happen
he's
here.
Yes,
very
he has some
much.
good lines.
He reminds me of.
A spike in paracausal energy.
Yeah, I think so.
Sterile neutrino particles have
You know,
quintupled.
Everyone just turns around and goes, "What?"
You should hire a translator, Asher.
And you just say
Yeah, he
the pressure's
needs
increasing.
he needs a translator.
But again, I'm quite surprised how enjoyable the story missions are. Playing through them again, but with someone by your side. You know, we were able to do
Yeah.
them solo. That's, you know, I've done it 2 different characters. You've done it on 2 different characters now.
Yep.
And then, I've done it on 3, deleted one, and came through it again for this. So you know, it's no question that we can fly through the story no problem, but it is a lot more enjoyable sitting here having a bit of a chat and
It is.
just running them together. It's because we can also point, you know, we tend to point out things that one another might have missed
That's
as
true.
we're doing the story, which I do like, because you know me, my lore.
There's a
I
lot
love it.
to this. It's yeah, it is really enjoyable. I tell you what, I read something really interesting this morning. Somebody was saying that they had a very interesting, not a criticism. It wasn't a criticism of the raid, but an observation of the raid. And they were saying that they miss talking to their friends. The gist of it was that because there are parts of the new raid where communication is so vital that you can't talk. And I thought,
Yeah.
I thought,
Well,
that's
but
really
you're not-
interesting.
You're not supposed to talk. But if you ever join us on one of our raids, if you happen to be part of our clan, that's not something we always adhere to.
Fight because we're talking. Well, we fight because we're talking. That's more
It
important.
happens.
Nice work.
Exactly.
Find that override.
But I do get where they're coming from. In the older, in D1, there was a lot more time just
We've
to
got the Drogo.
have a bit of a laugh on
Return to
top
the
of what you
drill
were
site and
doing.
get into the war mine vault.
Whereas
I am eager to
in this one,
discredit
it's more,
Zayla's plan to attack the Almighty.
you know, getting it done and then get out. It's up this way, Nick.
Oh, thank you.
I always do that. I always jump down first because there's another mission you do in here where you've got to jump down afterwards.
Ah, yeah, of course. Yeah. It is a question of priorities, and I think you know, and it is about finding that group that, you know, like we found, you know, like-minded people, people who are going to get offended because you're talking, you know, probably not the people who you should be raiding with is the answer. You know, find people to raid with who don't mind a chat.
Oh, totally.
But it is right though, to that extent that communication is absolutely vital in the raid. And
At certain points of the raid more than others, but
yeah.
I don't think, you know, when you think about the challenges in the raid themselves, they are all communication based. That it is really heavy on that, isn't it?
It is lovely. That almost obsession that Bungie has of you will talk to each other. You will.
Yeah. You will play as
You
a
will
team or
make-
you will not play at all. It's
It's no compromise.
it's like little
Absolutely.
siblings getting told off or something. That's how it feels
Exactly.
sometimes.
Play nice with each other.
Yeah. You won't do that on your own. You'll wait for assistance. Okay.
Exactly.
Are we
All right,
going
Mom.
to see Rasputin? Or is this some other war mind?
There is only one war mind. But Rasputin
As
is not
much
in
as I'm
Ohio.
looking forward
I believe he's been marooned on
to
Earth
the
ever
Osiris
since his network
DLC,
fragmented.
I am much more interested
Get up. It
in the
wouldn't
Rasputin
practice the war,
DLC.
my fault.
That's going to be...
Yeah, I have a suspect. I can't leave that. You know more interesting.
I want to know what happened, because there's a lot of theories that Rasputin is the one that fired on the Traveler. There's theories that that destroyed our Earth to the rate of devastation it's at, and I want that cleared up, or even close to clearing up. I want to know who is responsible. Is it the Traveler or was it Rasputin?
Yeah.
That knackered the planet, basically.
So realistically, for those, and I'm gonna, I don't want to be over-explaining, but basically what we're trying to, what you're trying to say here is, look, did Rasputin realise that the Traveller was going to run away? The darkness was coming, the darkness was upon us at that point, and just as, because let's face it, the Traveller has fallen, he abandoned the Fallen, that's why the Elzniki are the Fallen.
Or
did Rasputin, did Rasputin, oh, I'm going to damage you to the extent that you can't run away?
Yeah, or was he ordered to by the Traveler fall into the hands of the darkness, or the Traveler going into sleep form because of the damage? Did that stop the darkness from pursuing him? Because I'm trying to avoid spoilers, obviously you know yourself, where certain things happen that reawaken that. If that is the darkness that we've seen, they didn't reawaken until certain events happened. So was the Traveler's damage and him or it going into a sleep form to regenerate, is that what stopped him pursuing him in the first place?
Could be. Could be.
And the funny thing is, because obviously we're trying to avoid spoilers, but I know for a fact you and I will go into deep conversation about this later. They'll be like, right.
Oh, absolutely.
We need more.
We need more. We need answers to the questions. That's the point. It's
I will ask Zavala.
what I do like is what we've got so far, what we've experienced in Destiny 1 and so far in D2. It's not. They've given us some answers to some very little questions, but they've given us more questions than they have answers. But
agreed.
I
Very
particularly,
well put, actually.
I like that, because I don't like something that is built up with this big bad is going to do this, it's going to do that, and oh, but you've killed it. Well done. Game over. And it's like,
yeah,
really? And that's back in cartridge days of gaming. That's not what we expect now.
Yeah. No, we expect, and I think we're entitled to that, and I think that's. But I think that's what Bungie wants to do. I think that's what Bungie wants to do, and I'm really hoping that is the case. I think it's the case that they want us to have a bigger, deeper, more complicated, more, I hate to say more moral story. They want to, that they're not underestimating our ability
Reconnecting to the
to
Warmind network
deal
begin a remote scan.
with complicated plot lines and complicated motivations. I think that's really good.
Hang on. We've got taken.
The best stories don't underestimate the audience.
No, totally. I mean, again, about potential. This game has so much potential to deliver so much greatness. Again, I have to mention it because it is there, and there's more awareness of the fact that it's coming out next year, and that's Anthem.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that instantly come up and say that it's going to be the Bungie killer. That's fine. They can, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I am personally looking forward to Anthem. Because BioWare are amazing at stories, at storytelling, and I'd love to see what they did with a Destiny style game, which is what Anthem is, in its controls and in its sort of environment and ideas, and what they can do with that story. I doubt highly that it will be a Destiny killer. I do believe it'll coincide very well with Destiny, in the respect that they will, you know, almost tell to a similar possible future. You know, that's what I like about. There's nothing to say that our future isn't, you know, humanity's future isn't space-based. No one can say that for certain that it would be, or that, and that's what makes Destiny have more of a believable impact, I think.
Yeah.
If you're willing to look behind the curtain, as it was, a Wizard of Oz reference, that there is more there in this game. You know, it touches on some political decisions with, you know, the Vanguard wanting to do things their own way, but at the same time having to accept that their way might not be the right way, and this time they've got to do it the best way for the people, not necessarily the best way for themselves. And I do feel that was a brave move by Bungie, and I do think that by doing that they allowed themselves to see the audience in a different light. They weren't, as you know, like you were saying, they didn't sort of pigeonhole the audience as to, well, that'll be too complicated for them. They accepted that we'll understand most of what they do.
Yeah,
Apart
absolutely.
from Asher, no
Absolutely.
one fucking understands Asher.
No, he's difficult. He's a difficult man.
Yeah, Asher's definitely one of those people. I have no doubt after a few drinks, Asher would probably sound similar to Gaul, and
Yeah,
just
he
relax that
probably
voice
would.
in that manner right there.
What makes your guardians worthy of the light? What is the price of such power and immortality?
Devotion. Self-sacrifice. Death.
Death. Explain.
Devotion inspires bravery. Bravery inspires sacrifice. Sacrifice leads to death.
Now,
So, feel free to kill yourself.
that there,
Devotion.
being a massive Star Wars fan and
Sacrifice.
playing Star Wars the way we have for us, that is as close to the Sith code as you're going to get.
Yep.
Custom with the Cabal.
Absolutely right. I
Society
can't. It's literally. It's straight out the virtually out of the Sith playbook.
Disgraced. Who saw
It just, it makes me again believe and see the Traveller as the potential wrong side of this war.
And in return, I would become a vehicle for his revenge.
Absolutely right.
Empire that failed him, that failed itself. Rejection, ridicule, torment.
But this.
It made me stronger. I gave everything to win not just acceptance, but glory. Beneath my mask, Sticker is the face of devotion and sacrifice. I will not take the light by force. To do so would be to admit failure. And I never fail. Now, do you see why I will be chosen?
I see now. All that you have done.
Our operation on the Jovian moon was a success. Once the cage is complete, we will have everything we need to begin the process of extracting the light. Dominus, everything we've worked for is here, for the taking. All that remains... No. This is not the way, old friend. But it is the way. The only way. Not for me.
And the similarities between the Speaker and Darth Mar. I'm not even going to touch on that.
Yeah, no, but you're absolutely right though, and I love the way, like I say, it comes back to it. You know, they're not underestimating the audience. Them, you know, they're looking at Gaul. He's not a mad-eyed monster. You know, he is a monster, but he has his morals. He you know, you could even go as far as to sympathise with him in certain ways. He doesn't think he's the monster. And those people are probably more scary. You know, the characters like that are more scary because they think they're right. And you can understand why they think they're right.
Yeah, you can sympathise with them. If you hadn't kicked me off a fucking ship, I would sympathise with
yeah.
him. Other than that, yeah, I want to put a bullet in his head.
Yeah. But yeah, you
reason
can
alone.
understand his motive. You can understand his motivation. And that's, yeah, you know. So it's a hallmark of good storytelling.
Yeah.
What?
So we don't need to come back to him. Our next position. Is actually back to the farm.
So possibly another thing, just as I'm spending some points and leveling up my gunslinger. Probably an interesting point just touch on is to say the relevance of gunslinger in PvE is a question mark, I think, still at the moment.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are trying to find out where it fits. You know, what's it really good for?
I do believe that if you use the bottom tree, or whichever one that gives you an extra orb with a critical shot,
the way of the sharpshooter. Yep.
Yes. Each enemy you kill with golden gun, it's 3 shots you get, isn't it? Or is it 6?
It is, yeah.
So really what you're
Normally
saying is
3 shots.
we're damned if we do, damned if we
You will get 2 orbs plus an extra orb, I think.
Just might stand a chance.
So you pop 3 enemies.
We will ignite a chain
There's
reaction
9
that could
orbs.
send our sun into a super.
There's somebody super.
There's somebody super.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
And if that somebody happens to be another hunter with tether,
We all know it
there's your super back.
Traveler
Yeah.
must be freed.
Yep.
I'm thinking the
Yep.
3 of us and a big fat pile of explosives can
So I do believe that the hunter is
I still have that
very
metal
much
report.
crowd
It's
control.
limited range,
It's a
so
Then
because
inside
the
walls for it to be effective.
But without the light,
the arc staff
an
is the
outright
same
assault on the wall is doomed to fail.
as his tether. It's a group
There will be no
it's an
coming
AoE.
back.
skill, really.
it's worth it.
How do we get in?
You know, the city wall
Yeah.
is kind of like this barn.
But I like it.
Plenty of places to slip in
Maybe,
unseen.
and maybe I'm
So long
stretching
as
things
we
too
know
far
how.
here, but you know, you see in the opening sequence of Homecoming, you see Cade Six, obviously, who's you know, a proponent of the Golden Gun, and he doesn't.
Nice
What
punch.
what does he shoot
You
with
need to
his
get
3
your
shots?
team into the city without
3 Cabal,
losing any
just-
alarms.
yeah.
My
3
people
Cabal
and I can
Legionaries,
help you
that's
do
it.
that.
Foot
We
soldiers.
also happen to be pretty good
Bang, bang,
at
bang.
shooting bad guys.
Hawthorne. It's our
Take out a
lives on the
Centurion
line,
with
but
it. does he?
This doesn't have
Does-
to
No.
be
you know?
a fight. You're not
A guardian?
And that's the
You
thing.
think you've cornered
With the
light given
upgrades,
sacrifice?
the golden gun filled with it
Survive
explode,
without the light all our lives.
causing damage
Once
to
upon a
other
time,
nearby
a big
enemies.
light ball in
So
the
if you
sky
fire 3 in a
was there
crowd,
for all of
you
us.
have the chance of actually taking out maybe
I think
6 or
it's about
7.
time we return the favor.
Um,
Guardians or not.
but it's when to use it and how to use it.
Not forget about the complete annihilation thing.
If we can't destroy the Almighty,
But again, though, the same can be said for all the other classes. They're better at
We'll need a
crowds than they are
disguise
for
if we're going to
bosses.
fly right through
I
the
do
Cabal
think that
Armada.
If it's a Cabal ship you need, there's a base
in this
nearby full of
in this game they have sort
It won't be
of
easy sneaking in.
made it so
If there's one thing I
you are more
it's the value of a grand
reliant on your weapons for
You wanna want a hug?
bosses,
Hugs?
and
No?
ads is your supers.
That's an interesting perspective. Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, I
I've-
think that's fair. Yeah.
I don't think any of us, in fact, I know for an absolute fact, other than use Overshield, I don't think any of us have used our super on the raid boss.
I know there will be warlocks out there shouting Nova Bomb, but
But
that's the only
Even-
that's the only thing I can think of as the
but
exception.
most of them
here.
won't have Nova Bomb on because they'll go for empowering Rift with the Stormcaller with a little extra helper
Yes.
for more damage.
Yeah.
Because that over time is more damage than a single Nova Bomb.
That's very true.
So yeah, I do feel
Checking now.
that supering a boss is
Acknowledged.
a Destiny 1 thing.
And I think
Let's
that's
have messages.
also kind of why we're in this situation where this is what we've seen in D1 is we've seen a super that complements that allows the Guardian to be very much a one man. And I think that's interesting. Because you don't, that's definitely what's avoided here. Because if you're a one-man army, then cooperation is not necessary. It's not, and that's the way. That seems to be the underlying message that we get all the time from D2, which is cooperate, and things will be better. Support one another, and things will be better.
As of today,
That's a very good point, actually, is that,
Take time to understand the
just a second,
Mm-hmm.
that in Destiny 1 we were very much killing crew. You know, it was just
what's up, Guardian?
all about killing and domination over the enemy. We were the ultimate power in the galaxy. And in Destiny 2, basically the Cabal came across, bitch slapped us, and left us reeling. Which, we've now had to band together and realise, no, we are stronger together. There is no room for the hero anymore. It's even the Vanguard during the story, they're all about being back in their fire team. It's no
Yes,
longer
that's true.
about
They're-
Zavala being full or Cade being able to do what he needs to do. It's literally, we need to be back in our fire team. And that is, it's this game, the Destiny 2 is all about reuniting the fire team, getting everyone back together. That's sort of why our clan works so well just now, is because that was our idea originally also.
Would shut down Eververse. Not likely.
So it kind of helps.
Absolutely.
I just bought myself a Sparrow. Sorry. I just had to get
good
that
for
in
you.
there. I'm no longer running
Yeah.
everywhere.
So you must, you will, and you'll enjoy the game more if you just cooperate with one another. And I think that's, you know, that's the way the game is built, and it's and the mechanics and the way your character works is there to reinforce that, and I think that's great. You know, at the end of the day, if you do know, you know, your golden gun will be useful on its own. That's absolutely fine. You know, you can carry on. But how much better would it be if you got a friend of yours who's a Night Stalker? I mean, that's an exciting addition to the game. You know, you play with a Night Stalker, you play together, you coordinate when you're going to pop your supers.
That's the same.
That's marvelous, really.
The same can be said for the Striker. If you think of having the tether from a Night Stalker, that allows you to, and the boots as well, sorry. The ultimate Night Stalker build right now is with the Orpheus rig and your main long-term tether. You fire it down, you tether 10 enemies, and you've got your super bat. With that, you know, you're ready to go again. But if you tether those 10 enemies, and those enemies are killed, each one of them drops an orb for someone else to use. Now, if you've got a Striker wearing Alpha Loopy that jumps into that crowd and slams those 10, not only do they generate orbs for every 2 they kill, I think with the Striker it's every 2 ads you kill you get an orb, but the Alpha Loopy also drops an extra one. So
yeah,
basically the 2 of them plus a golden gun cracking a rat, you've got almost unlimited supers for your whole fire team, and that's just if you work together and you time it right. Especially in public events, it could be so rewarding.
Yeah, exactly. You can start to you can create your, which is something you couldn't. That's not something that you could easily do. I'm trying to say, I'm not going to say you couldn't do it in D1, but it doesn't seem to be as obvious. Didn't seem to be as obvious, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it was much harder to do in Destiny 1, but yeah, that again we'll end on the high of there's been a lot of improvements. Destiny 2, there's a lot
100%.
to come. There's a lot more improvements to be done, but there took a step in the right direction. We are now currently, you're already level 13, I saw. I'm almost level 13, so we need to be 15 for the next part. But what I think we'll do is our next stream will be tomorrow. If you're around in the morning, it'll be fine. And what we'll probably do is we'll do our early level milestones.
Good idea.
You know, there's that many milestones come up later on. We know ourselves it isn't that difficult, in all honesty. So yeah, we'll do our milestones tomorrow and then continue the Red War. But
and we'll be nearly 20.
Yeah, exactly. The 15 to 20 is a quick process. But again, thank you for joining me.
No, very welcome. Always a pleasure.
That is us.
I will catch you later.